Hey cousins, welcome back to the channel. I know it was a little late. I was not planning on going live, but the gifts just keep on giving, I guess, at this point. Um, Shout out to everybody who's up right now because it is 11:16 p.m. on the East Coast. So I hope y'all not up too late, but I need to talk about a few things. Um, Dame Dash, of course, Diddy got arrested. Diddy is behind bars, y'all. They finally put the clinks on his ass. So we need to get into that. And then, of course, y'all did not let me know this What's the Dirt video dropped. Oh God. H very busy, a whole lot going on, a whole lot of going on. For real. And then it just want to all happen so late in the day. Like, come on. Like, what the hell? Hey, cousin, what's going on? What's up, Miss Coffee? Hey, KK. David, I have been waiting like a child on a Christmas Eve for Diddy to get arrested. Oh my God. Well, Christmas is here because they put the clanks on his ass. But before I get into that, let's talk about Dame Dash real quick because let's just get him out the way. Because this guy, he is an interesting guy. This Dame Dash. Hold on. So Dame did an interview with America New Network. So shout out to them. And in this interview, they asked him about the Super Bowl for Kendrick Lamar, of course. And of course, he's like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about old boy, blah 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 blah," but then goes on a whole tangent. But Dame basically said that he was in talks with Drake, and Drake was in his DM, and Dame is suggesting that Drake buys his Roc-A-Fella chains to wear to the Super Bowl. Not sure what that's supposed to do, but that's Dame's suggestion.
But if I step in that conversation, then because um, as for battle rap, shit, there's never been a battle rap where the record becomes a hit.
So he did at least give Kendrick his props in that aspect, saying that there's never been a record to grow this big. That's a diss.
It's another artist in a very uncomfortable position, pause, and then they get to perform. That's ill. And I'm thinking like, what would I do if I was Drake? And I'd be like, well, a big W would be to come to the Super Bowl with one of these Roc-A-Fella chains.
Like who was that a W for? Is that a W for Drake? Or is that a W for Dame Dash because he's trying to sell that Reasonable Doubt catalog and he wants to get 10 million from somebody for that Reasonable Doubt catalog and nobody wants that shit. Nobody in their right mind is going to pay $10 million to own the Reasonable Doubt percentage for 7 years, and it barely makes 250,000 a year. Like, what sense does that make, Dame Dash? And then him buying the Reasonable Doubt catalog from you for 10 million, you're offering him 2 chains. Like, this is a W for nobody but Dame Dash.
And Drake hollered at me through DM and made an offer, and I'm not quite sure what happened, but I thought that he had got with Jay or something, but I don't know.
So he brought, what I'm thinking is he got in your DM because he's like the culture vulture. He wants to buy all of these hip hop artifacts and collect them and wear them around like a loser. So he got in your DM trying to buy the Reasonable Doubt percentage. he offered you something and you clearly did not like it because you countered and he didn't respond to you. You probably countered and said, I'll only give it to you for that 10 mil. Nobody is taking that for 7 years for $10 million, Dame. Like, make it make sense.
But it would be a good time to close. But if you got it, I wouldn't do it if you don't got it.
And now he's like, if you got it. Dame, you don't have it. You want it. Like, so petty.
But, if you want to own Reasonable Doubt, if you want to own a third of it, have a say at the board meeting for at least the next 7 years and make money off of it.
What money is being made off? The only way they're making money off of that is if they're putting it in movies and ad deals and stuff like that. Other than that, you're not making no money off of it, especially not 10 million back plus. Like, get real, Dane. Be so serious. Like, just stop. Just stop it. I don't know what he on, but whatever he's on, he needs to stop and he needs to keep his teeth in his mouth. For real. Yes, cousins. Please be sure to like this video, smash the like button. We're trying to get the video to 100 likes. So shout out to the mods that's in here holding down the chat. Y'all be respectful in this chat or you're going to get put in the bushes. I'm just saying. FN Drake was clearly interested. He definitely was because that's his nature. He wants to buy up everything and then walk around and flaunt it like a weirdo. Very colonizerish of him. Laverne Smith, that's why JT fell out being messy. Miranda, hey cousin, he always used to talk about chatty patties, then became the chatty patty. I'm telling you. H2 Aubrey, Dame always going public trying to pressure people to close the deal. Yeah, you heard him. That's only if you got it. If you ain't got it, I understand. Like what? He did this with Karma Loop and Kai. Karma Loop is crazy. That is a throwback. Karma Loop. Wow. That is a throwback for sure. Christia M. Hey cousin, exactly. When the government starting bid is 1.5 million. Tell me about it. Miss Coffee, isn't it interesting that RB dropped a song today too, only to be overshadowed by Diddy, Lecrae, and D1? I didn't even know. See, I didn't even know RB dropped a song today. I had no idea. I know I saw Lecrae. I know Lecrae dropped one recently, and then I saw D1 had dropped something. I haven't listened to D1's yet, but I had no idea Drake dropped a song. Weasel Buff. Hey cousin, what's up? What's up? So yeah, y'all, let's get on Diddy now. They done put the feds done came knocking. The feds done came knocking for the diddler. He has finally met his day. I'm trying to find the breakdown because I want to get this right. Hold on. And we just spoke about Diddy, his lawsuit against that inmate, and then his lawsuit from Dawn from Danity Kane. I guess I'll just go to TMZ to get it. Hold on, let me share my screen. All right, cousins. It is D-Day. It is D-Day. TMZ is reporting Diddy was arrested by the feds in NYC after grand jury indictment. Wasn't he just in Miami? I literally just seen some videos of him in Miami. This man be everywhere. So I'm going to read the before, then I'm going to go back to the update. So Diddy was just arrested and taken into federal custody in New York Monday night. TMZ reported Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel. He always in a hotel. What's up with him in these hotels? Why is he always in a hotel? Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel late Monday where Diddy was staying, and they arrested him. We have unconfirmed reports the feds are searching his hotel room. Wow. They even searching the hotel. I'm pretty sure they're probably searching for security tapes and all of that. We're told Diddy was taken to the FBI field office in Manhattan. And who this is? This looks like his son. I guess this is outside the hotel. This is his son right here, Christian, the one that looks just like him. Imagine having your kid tied up in this mess. Could you imagine having your kids tied up in this mess? Like, that is crazy. They pulled up in them black trucks. It appears the action was taken in connection with ongoing criminal investigation into alleged sex trafficking and other offenses that led to search warrants being issued and executed at Diddy's home in Beverly Hills and Miami. TMZ reported a grand jury has been hearing testimony from various accusers over the last few months. Various is crazy. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you couldn't, like, why did you need to do any of this? This is what happened when you get money and power. You feel like you can't be touched, like you can just get away with anything. Diddy's attorney, Mark, tells TMZ, we are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Diddy is a music icon. That doesn't mean anything. Self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire during his children and working to uplift the Black community. Keep the Black community out of this. The Black community ain't got nothing to do with this. The Black community was not in that hotel when you was stomping out Cassie. Keep us out of this. This ain't got nothing to do with us. Nope. Hell no. The attorney adds he is an imperfect person, but is not criminal. To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation. First of all, Diddy has been out and about, seen at the beach, walking the Miami Strip, just living his best life like he don't got these charges against him. Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation, and he volunteered relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. What you mean voluntarily? He had to go. He had no choice but to go. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court. We saw him suplex Cassie. What do you mean, an innocent man that has done nothing? We saw him A-Town stomp on Cassie. He ain't innocent. Mind you, he called her a liar before those tapes came out. Like, do you remember that, attorney? He called her a liar. And then those tapes came out and he was apologizing. So please don't bring up the Black community and tell us he an innocent man. Ain't nothing innocent about him. And let's go back to the top because there was updates. So at 7:30, they did an update and it said a law enforcement source tells TMZ Diddy's arrest was scheduled for Tuesday, but something happened that caused the feds to move in a day earlier. They said they could not wait to get your ass. They said we were supposed to get you on Tuesday, but now we got to get you tonight. We got to get you tonight because we done found something so crazy. We got to get you right now. We cannot wait. This is urgent. This is a serious matter. We are not waiting. However, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams says federal agents took him in based on a sealed indictment filed by the Southern District of District of New York. And then at 8:05, just a couple hours before Diddy got busted, he was confidently strolling around NYC with his son King Combs. He even stopped to greet some fans and took selfies. So I guess this is him earlier, right before they arrested him. This man thought he couldn't be touched. Let me tell you something. If I had any type of anything on me and I was probably going to be charged with something, I'm not out and about hugging people, taking pictures, kissing babies, and all of that. I'm in the house. I'm with the lawyers, making sure my case is right. This man has gotten away with this stuff for so many years. He still felt like he couldn't be touched. So he just out and about hitting the Miami Strip at the beach. Now he just strolling around NYC with nothing to lose. Like, you got a whole bunch to lose. Like, I would be laying low, enjoying this time with my children. Like, what? Come on. They just out chilling. Now he throwing the L's up. L now stands for lock up. Like, what? I can't. This man don't got a care in the world. Just no care in the world. Child, did they drop the mugshot yet? Because that's what I want to see. Where's the mugshot? Effing, I don't understand why folks can't lay low. He the type ego thinking he won't nothing will come of this. He done got away with a bunch of stuff for so long. He probably feel like, oh, this will be nothing. This will brush over soon, and I'll be back to my normal schedule programming. KK, I think him being outside is attempts to prove he's innocent. Terrible, terrible attempt. But I can definitely see that, KK. I can definitely see that. Miranda, and don't forget the alleged connections to unalivings. The devil really has committed every serious crime. I'm telling you, Thomas Clark play low like Russell Simmons. Didn't Russell Simmons run to Bali or somewhere? Isn't he in Bali or somewhere? Kaylani, what's up, cousin? He was probably pissed because his people in the inside didn't tip him off this time. Listen, you see what they said, what they say around, what was it? Where here it goes. Law enforcement tells TMZ Diddy's arrest was scheduled for Tuesday. They was gonna get his ass tomorrow. But something happened that caused the feds to move in a day earlier. They said we can't wait. This is a serious matter. We cannot wait for tomorrow because anything could happen tonight. So we got to get you right now. India, hey cousin. I wonder how he feels right now to go from having anything you want in life to prison, high highs and low lows. I'm telling you, he's probably sitting there thinking, oh, maybe I'll get out tonight, post my bail. But bro, this is the feds. This is the feds, bro. The feds. You might not get out ever. And they have to have something in order for them to have arrested him because they let him go the first time and then they let him out. For them to go get him now and do it a day early before what was already planned, oh, they got something. And I'm always curious how victims are able to have proof after so many years, though. I guess they save it. They save things. That's like, I remember a story, a lady who was SA, she ended up saving like her underwear. And it was like years old in a Ziploc bag. And they were able to find semen on them. So you never know. It depends on what kind of evidence they have, I guess. Thomas Clark, the public's gonna find out who the real snitch is. Yeah, because don't he got allegedly some ties to the police? Miranda, and I know the feds only come when they've got you 95% conviction rate. Okay, they do not play. You have to be a very, very lucky person to get about the feds' grips. They do not play. Chi-Town till death. I wonder what the unexpected event is that made them get him today. That's what I want to know as well, because it has to be something where they're just like, no, we can't wait. We gotta head there now. Everybody put your gear on. Everybody gas up the vehicles. We gotta go now. We can't wait. The feds do not play. Miranda witnesses footage. Exactly. They got some things on him. Hey, the feds basically pulled records from hotels that he has been to. Looks like they found a lot more disturbing things we don't know yet. It would not shock me. And plus, a lot of those tapes he had himself, you know? And then it says that they're looking for things in the hotel that he's currently in. FN, that's my only reservation sometimes, distinguishing between what was wrong behavior and what you can actually be tied for. Yeah, man. That's why they got those people who could distinguish that. Nearly, if a rapper buys it, can they use it to do remixes? That's the only way it makes sense to me that someone will get it for 7 years. I'm sure you're referring to Dame Dash. Yeah, I'm pretty sure well, to be honest, it's gonna have to go through Jay-Z and Biggs at the end of the day. So you can try to want to do something with the percentage, but you still have to go through Jay-Z and Biggs to get the approval. So it's like, do you really want to go through that? You know? Because even if Drake was trying to get the percentage, he would only be able to get it at the discretion of Jay-Z and Biggs. Like, they still get the final say so who now owns that 33%. So Kwani, the fall of Diddler the Fiddler. KK, his son had said they moved all evidence to a new house. Like, you're an idiot, Christian. You're an idiot. Because why would you put that in a song? Like, he really put that in a song. Some they raided this house, but they ain't checked the one next door or something like that. He said, like, why would you say that? Hey, y'all, look at this. And Drake tweeted this in 2012. From this N Diddy view, I think I see his vision too. Which is a Rick Ross lyric, but still, like, why are you saying that? And then at the bottom, you can see Diddy, Rick Ross mentioned Cassie, my Cassie sassy, so my penthouse, my balloons. Like, why would you say that? Why would you say that? These dudes do not be thinking, bro. Like, at all. But yeah, y'all, that was Dame Dash and Diddy. I guess when we get more updates, I'll let y'all know, or I'll update the community tab, of course, until we go live again. And I guess we could talk about what's the dirt. Ooh, excuse me. We could talk about what's the dirt. Have any of y'all watched the video on his breakdown on Family Matters? Have any of y'all watched it? Please make sure y'all smashing that like button. Of course, the goal is 100 likes. So please smash the like button. We got 120 and some change people in here. So that should not be hard. Let me see. No, I did. I watched it. No, no. I haven't watched the What's the Dirt. Not watching that dude. Oh my God. Watched JMI official live. Watched it, a lot of reaching though. No, I don't want to give him a view. Oh God, y'all. Tiffany Shantae, I watched along with Showface. Shout out to the mayor. And he didn't finish it. It wasn't good. Damn. Oh my God. So that's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. Well, hold on, let me share my screen. So y'all, I am not about to sit through this whole thing. Okay. That is not what we're about to do. But and first of all, Drake in that bow tie in the thumbnail is hilarious to me. Very hilarious to me. So, as previously stated a few weeks ago, I had no intentions of watching this video due to the length and time. There's absolutely no reason this video should be pushing near 3 hours long. Like, that's crazy. Even with the details that includes like the music video. I think he had like 3 switches. I feel like it's 3 music videos in one. And the mention of various artists. This video being nearly 3 hours is pushing it, and Auntie don't got the time or the energy. But as soon as that link dropped, the cousins were on my ass, like letting me know the video was out. So shout out to the cousins, always letting me know and keeping me informed on the latest updates. So shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. And even bigger shout out to the cousins who sent me timestamps so I don't have to go through the whole video. So shout out to y'all in the Discord. Shout out to Diddy. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Kwani. Roland, I think it is. So shout out to y'all. If y'all want to join the Discord, check the link. We be over there chilling, just talking about random shit. Because I would have had to put this shit on the 2x playback speed if I'm gonna watch this shit for 3 hours. So I can't. But I guess I'll just touch on a few things worth mentioning. As in my prior video, before finding out this shit was 3 hours long, I made it clear that I was curious how Matt was going to explain like the blatant racism, the domestic violence allegations, and how Whitney was degraded all up and down this video. And in my previous reaction to Euphoria and 616 in LA, I did give Matt his props. Even though there were some things I did not agree with. I could tell even in like the reaches, he still did a good job with his research. So I am expecting the same of this video, but from what I was told, it ain't it. It ain't it. Yeah, so I will link my prior review in his video below in the comment section, or y'all can search it up. And with Matt on everyone's bad side as of late, with his antics, this should be interesting. So again, y'all, I'm not sitting here watching this whole video. I'm just gonna go through timestamps that the cousins gave me in the Discord, and we could talk about that. I can't do 3 hours. It's just different. Yeah, I watched it. He was top 3 glades. Oh God. Drake allegations are recent. All the diss against K-Dot seem to beginning of his career. FN, that Family Matters track really gives me the ick. I'm telling ya. Hey, cousin. Yeah. All right, y'all. So let's just get into it. I'm not going through this whole damn video. So cousins gave me the timestamp. So we just gonna go from there. And me and Matt are not on good terms right now. So if he copyright this video, do not copyright this video, Matt. Even though we're not on good terms right now.
Once again, one was just a couple on you.
Oh wait, hold on.
Songs. All right, guys. So in the order that they were, you guys do realize that it is very possible to be a fan of two artists at the same time, right? Like, this is indeed possible. And I fully understand that I'm not getting any popularity points for giving Drake any sort of compliments for this record. I know for a fact that if I...
All right, you starting off wrong. Already. Out the gate. Like, this is what got you in a lot of the shit that you're currently in right now, bro. Like, none of this is needed. Granted, you're a grown-ass man. This is your platform. This is your channel. You're free to do whatever the hell it is that you want. But understand that none of this backlash didn't start until you started with this biased narrative. And it's a reason you keep harping on it. Like, you did not need to do that for any of your other videos, Matt, because your work spoke for itself. And out the gate, 5 seconds in, you are back on this biased banter kick. And notice, hold on. And notice, none of this began or happened or wasn't highlighted until you went out your way to show off or go on this rant about being biased or having OVO gear. And then you mixing up Breakfast Club interviews, and then you laughing at a man's racial trauma. Look at these screenshots. They're 3 weeks ago. He compromised OVO. So these are all from basically Kendrick Lamar friends after you went on that bias rant. Like, come on, bro. None of this, granted, there was probably some people who felt some type of way with your videos, but it wasn't to this point until you did what you did. I can't. And then you highlighting you're not going to get popularity points because you were giving Drake compliments and not shitting on it because Kendrick fans checked you on your missteps. You're yapping too much, bro. Instead of just simply doing the work that you do. You didn't take this approach before. And according to you, your own brother said your approach was wrong. Out the gate, you're wilding. Out the gate, bro.
Drake any sort of compliments for this record, I know for a fact that if I approached his breakdown in a way, I mentioned this red button on many tracks before.
If I press this red button, dog, everybody heaven gated. Press this red button, dog, and everything forever changes.
Next, we need to take a look at the
red button. Highlighting the red button where nothing but confetti and pixie dust came out of it. All right now. Shout out to the cousin for the super chat. And how wrong was he on that slave? I haven't gotten there yet, cousin. Thank you so much for the super chat. Juan Wick, shout out to you. Get 2 minute at least best unseasoned followers behavior. Oh my God, y'all cutting out bad. The disrespect to Whitney and Kendrick relationship. Oh my God. Christia, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's finish.
The track that got entirely overlooked as it was posted with Family Matters, but only on Drake's Instagram account. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about the Buried Alive Part 2 track.
So we discussed this on the channel as well. Drake uploaded this Buried Alive parody as a response to Kendrick's version on his because Kendrick was featured on Take Care as a feature, and Kendrick did the where he was like, oh, basically talking about the high life and all that shit, and Drake did this Buried Alive parody, but then he ended up deleting it. Like I said, throughout this entire battle, Drake did not stand on anything that he did. He leaked the push-up tracks. He leaked the tailor-made tracks because he had no confidence in nothing he did. And then you uploaded the Buried Alive parody, and then you deleted it. The only thing Drake had confidence in was Family Matters because that's what he put the most effort into. That was his red button.
Now, if you didn't watch my 616 breakdown, definitely check that out because that's also a theme in that record.
On part 2, Drake cleverly mocks Kendrick's original concept.
If you was in a pine box, I would surely break the lock.
In a pine box, I would shovel dirt on top.
And just a little backstory.
And that part was funny. I would shovel dirt on top. That was kind of funny, but why didn't you stand on it?
Story on the original Buried Alive track because this is important. The last 3 bars of the song was written from Drake's perspective, and this was something that Kendrick revealed in a 2011 Double XL interview. And again, I dove way deeper into why Kendrick wrote this from Drake's perspective in the 616 breakdown.
Okay, so he's harping on the Buried Alive parody that was deleted.
So Drake is really taking a chance to mock Kendrick with this Buried Alive Part 2 track. And this was supposed to be like a cherry on top for Family Matters, but it definitely did not work out that way, as Drake would eventually delete this.
No confidence, no backbone, no spine, no belief in what you're doing. Like, come on, man. And I'm supposed to be moved by this? I'm sorry, I can't be. I just can't be.
Stop talking how you gonna spare us.
Drake states that Kendrick is still insecure about his position in hip hop, and even 13 years later, Drake is still big bro. It's exactly how it was on the original Buried Alive track. And this is where he's rebuttaling Kendrick's claims about sparing him on Euphoria.
I can double down on that line, but spare you this time. That's random acts of kindness.
And we'd soon learn that Kendrick would indeed double down because we got Meet the Grams and then we got Not Like Us.
React like an infant whenever I mention. It's like you need tension, I always get attention.
And if you're not familiar with the original Buried Alive track, Drake really is matching this stylistically pretty well bang on. So Drake plays a pretty good angle here, as there are many examples of Kendrick using conflict to his advantage. For example, the Control verse was amazing, but let's be real, had he not name dropped all those rappers, it would have been totally forgettable. No, bro, he was shaking up the game. No, he did that for attention. Kendrick.
Be so fucking serious. What is the point of making music if it's not for attention? The message was clear and straight to the point. He says in the song what the point was. So I don't understand. Of course it was for attention. Isn't all music that's created for attention? Are you just making music just so no one can hear it? No, Matt, that's not facts. The concept of control was straightforward. The state of hip hop was in the dirt. No one was pushing their pen. No one is trying to go head up or prove they are better than the next person. When you do these things, you do them to be the best. You rap to be the best. You sing to be the best. You play basketball to be the best. You're a doctor to be the best. Hip hop is a competitive sport, right? That's what Drake said. If Drake can know that hip hop is a competitive sport, so why all of a sudden when Kendrick do a verse, it's for attention. Drake said that. He had a billboard made and said it. Hip hop is a competitive sport. What are we talking about? So why is Drake crying? In every interview, every chance he got, he was crying. You know this. You covered it in your previous breakdowns. So don't try to equate control to being an attention-seeking moment. Only a person who was sensitive about the control was Drake. So sensitive, he went on a full-blown rant in front of ESPN Sports Nation and then regretted what he did. So he threatened if they don't delete the tape, he wouldn't host the ESPYs. And here we are a decade later because of Drake's insecurity about understanding the foundations of battle rap and hip hop being a competitive sport. So no, it was not about attention. No, it was a call of action to Kendrick Lamar's peers to tell them, let's be better. Let's put out better writtens. Let's put out better raps. Let's put out better music. That's what that was for. Everybody else understood it.
Lamar did control to get attention. That's facts. Then we've
No,
got the
it's not
BET free.
facts. And that's another thing. You can't say things for a person's state of mind as fact when you don't have any proof to say that it's a fact. You can only say something is a fact if you have actual proof of it.
Freestyle where he dissed Drake and then denied doing it after. And while he does do his thing in that cipher,
he didn't deny it because he didn't diss Drake. It wasn't a diss. Everybody else didn't take it as a diss. Everybody else knew what control was. It was time to lace up the boots and get in battle rap mode. Hip hop was built on battle rap. You battle the best dudes outside in your neighborhood on the corner or at the lunch tables. All of the greats have that under their belt. Jay-Z has it under his belt. Busta Rhymes has it under his belt. Kanye has it under his belt. 50 Cent has it under his belt. Kendrick Lamar has it under his belt. But only one person cried about it and took it as a slap in the face. I guess it's a Toronto thing. I guess it's a Toronto thing where you don't understand what the concept is of hip hop and battle rap and being competitive.
For without this element, it
let's skip a little because I can't do it.
I hear off of bars, not no controversy.
So both Drake and J. Cole feel the exact same way.
You always say
so both all said the exact same thing.
Why I got here off of bars, not no controversy.
So both Drake and J. Cole feel the exact same way.
So I guess what he's saying is J. Cole also felt like he did control for attention. And what I got to say about that is when you are on the shitty end of the stick, it is easy to feel that way. Mind you, one person took those sentiments back because he knew it wasn't true. So trying to use J. Cole as an example, I guess so. Matt ain't gonna like this video, and I don't give a damn.
Seems that Kendrick was always jealous of his success, and I personally believe that this was true at one point, as we have Kendrick's own words to support this.
Man, my girl split the bucket to KFC. She listening to Drake, and all I can say, damn, these that much better than me, baby.
So, I mean, this was 15 years ago in 2009. Whitney is listening to Drake. He sounds pretty jealous to me. And so,
Matt, he said, and here's Kendrick Lamar's own words saying that he's jealous of Drake. Is that what you took from that? Really? In all of your research, you couldn't find the fact that this was a Kanye West bar flip? Using a Kanye West bar flip to say that Kendrick was jealous of Drake is idiotic. Because what? That does not mean he's jealous. It's a bar flip. You never heard of you never listened to Touch the Sky before? In that very bar, Kanye mentioned Slick Rick as someone who was hot at a period in time while he was still trying to get comfortable in a comfortable position. Kanye said him and his girl were splitting KFC as they were on the grind to make it together, according to Kanye. That wasn't Kendrick's words. That was a Kanye bar flip, and he used Drake's name. Kendrick did the same exact thing and used Drake's name because Drake was popping and carving out a path for himself at the time. The mention of Drake's name was him giving him props and seeing the work that Drake was putting in to get where he was currently at that time. Is that jealousy? That's jealousy. That's giving him his tens. That's giving him kudos. He's giving him props. It's literally a Touch the Sky Kanye West bar flip where Kanye was talking about Slick Rick in his verse. But Kendrick changed the bar and put Drake's name because Drake was the popping guy at the time in his age range. You're reaching to new heights and we're only 7 minutes into the video. You're going to dislocate your rotor cuff. There's no way this is the same guy who broke down 616 in LA. There's no way. There's no way.
Some might argue that this isn't jealousy and that it's really a genuine dislike for how Drake represents a part of hip hop that Kendrick doesn't respect. And some might argue Whitney is listening jealous.
That had nothing to do with him disliking a part of hip hop. What? It has absolutely nothing to do with that. Oh my God.
And that it's really a genuine dislike for how Drake represents a part of hip hop that Kendrick doesn't respect. But if this were true, what Drake was doing musically or what that stood for, and you're this real dude, then why work with Drake in the first place? Because that would be fake, right? Drake had everything that Kendrick ever wanted. And even on the original Buried Alive track, he talks about how he felt when he found out that Drake was the same age as him, but was way more successful.
He said that he was the same age as myself, and it didn't help because it made me even more rude and impatient. So
I don't know what else you want to call this, but jealousy and envy, because that is what this is.
I took you on your first tour with us trying to catch a vibe. I was headline, you was standing on the side, brought you and that other hoe along for the ride.
So again, Drake delivers.
Now he called ASAP Rocky another hoe. What? Why would you say that? He only a hoe because he got the woman that you love. And that's why he a hoe, Drake. Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny?
Nothing but facts here. Even on the Drake, almost like he was finally gonna get his moment. So I mean, even and this turned out to be 100 Kendrick headlining while these guys were on the sidelines, and even Kendrick himself said he was not used to these big crowds and that he was overwhelmed with the look that Drake just gave him.
Nigga Drake holding us down, you know what I mean, putting us out there to see this motherfucking crowd that we ain't seen before, me and ASAP. The transition of me doing the 2,000 venues I've been doing back then is a little sketchy for me doing this 10,000. I got to really work some magic.
So I do think it's safe to say that Kendrick once held a degree of envy towards Drake, and this isn't the first time that Drake held.
He is really harping on this envy thing. Be so fucking serious, bro. You went from in Euphoria and 616 in LA. Oh, Kendrick doesn't like this type of stuff. to now he's jealous because he doesn't have it. Which one is it? Is it Uchi Wally or is it one Mike? Does he not like the life like you stated originally? Or does he's so jealous he wants the life? I don't know.
This tour over his head, as he's brought it up multiple times now. First, it was 2013 on the remix with Future.
Inside the hood like I'm from there. So you know it's all good when I come there. I hear you talk about your city like you run there. Then I brought my tour to your city. You my son there.
Then he mentioned it again on 4.
Drake has this kink of trying to sun people. It's so cute. It's so cute. You really think you could sun people?
PM in Calabasas.
When they told me take an R&B,
Turn to this again.
reasons for it.
I do believe Drake wanted them to win. Now, to be fair, which I am, Kendrick did go on a tour in 2010 with Tech 9. Views were definitely a lot smaller this tour. I'm sure those shows were instrumental in helping them with his stage performance. And on Drake's album, Kendrick had already dropped Section 80, which gave him a lot of buzz in itself and prompted West Coast legends to hand him the torch on stage.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna mean this. You got the torch. You better run with it.
So this whole handing of the torch thing was in August of 2011. That's 3 months before the Buried Alive track came out. At the end of the day, yes, Drake gave Kendrick a massive boost, but to say that Drake made Kendrick who he is would be insane.
Unfortunately, there are people who do believe Drake put Kendrick on. And they truly believe that. Eleven, 10 minutes into the video, still zero Family Matters breakdown. Bruh. I will give him the fact that he wanted to add in that Buried Alive parody. I will give him that. So I won't harp on the fact that we're 11 minutes and we still ain't get to shit. B, notice how he keeps saying everything is facts. However, in 616 Break It Down, he didn't paint anything as facts. But here he is really talking all this personal as if he knows everything. You are 100% right, B. In 616 in LA, he kept harping on, because I remember repeating it. He said, these are allegations. These are allegations. So you're not wrong. I remember that. I definitely remember that. He harped on the fact that everything were allegations. Mind you, in the 616 in LA video, he had actual evidence of the things that he was saying. He had videos. He had screenshots. But this all screams so far, trust me, bro, everything is facts. You're not wrong. You're not wrong for pointing that out. You're not wrong at all. But yeah, like I was saying, there's people who really think Drake put Kendrick on. And my thing is to those people, like, y'all clearly ride the short bus, but you think Drake just put a random person on his tour with no prior history, with nothing, no motion, nothing going on, even if it's less than what Drake had going on? If that's the case, he could have put me up there if he was just letting anybody on. You know? Kendrick clearly had already made a name for himself, and they believe he was good enough to help on this tour. So that's why they wanted him on the tour. But you know, common sense ain't too common these days. Calling someone jealous as a fact is nasty work. I'm disappointed in What's the Dirt. Let him tell it. Kendrick is a jealous spirit. And it's fact. Juice, so far this seemed more of his opinion than a breakdown or a deep dive. Okay, let's continue.
When Kendrick clowned him for his use of the N-word.
We don't wanna hear you say nigga no.
Oh, we about to get into the good stuff. This is what I really have been and waiting for. Let me see how you gonna explain this.
Drake strategically trolls Kendrick by getting his own mother to start off the track, requesting that Drake not use the word.
Maybe in this song, you shouldn't start by saying,
Nigga, I said it. I know that you mad.
It's pretty clever because his mother probably doesn't approve of him using this word.
That's clever. That's clever. Having a white woman open the song and then you go on to use the N-word a million times. You telling me that's clever, Matt? Never in my life have I seen another black man, especially a man who claims to be black, weaponize the N-word towards another black man. What the fuck is clever about that?
Either she probably asked him many times over the years not to use it, but she ultimately couldn't do anything about it because Drake is half black. The other side of his family uses it, so she.
How do you know those people use the N-word? How do you know they use the N-word? And that makes it clever because they use it. I almost choked on my spit just now. What? Are you serious? You gotta be joking. You have to be joking. There's no way he said that for real, y'all. There's no way. His cousin from down the street used it, so he gonna use it too. Is that what he really just said?
He had really zero say in the matter. So he's pretty much saying, like, my own mom couldn't stop me. You're definitely not going to. And what's also really clever here is that Drake is 37 years old and he says the N-word 37 times on this track. And I believe his reasons for doing this is he's basically saying the word for every year that he's been alive to symbolize that he was indeed born black. And look,
You fucking trolling me. He gotta be trolling. He has to be trolling, y'all. Oh my God, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no fucking way. He used the N-word 37 times to reference how many years he were born. He disrespected his mother to make it known, I'm going to say the N-word 37 times because that's how many years I've been on this earth. If this ain't one of the nastiest reaches of all time, this shit almost feels racist. This shit is racist. What? You stat padding at this point. There's no way you're saying that this man used the N-word 37 times because he's 37 years old, Matt. This cannot be the same person who broke down 616 in LA. You're bullshitting me right now. You're bullshitting me right now. I had high praise for you. High praise. What? And then you said his family uses it. You don't know that. You don't know how them people carry themselves or if they're okay with using the N-word or not. You're only assuming that because they're black and other black people use it. Like, where did you pull that from? You dug in the deepest part of your ass crack and pulled that out. Y'all just imagine Drake in a studio with a pen and a pad and writing nigga 37 times to make sure he got every birth year. What? Natural Beauty 78. So all black people just run around daily saying the N-word? Absolutely not. I say it. But I got cousins, I got aunts, I got uncles, my grandma, they would never say it. And those people don't say it, especially in my older generation family, they don't say it because they've had that word weaponized against them. And so for you as a white man to say this man said this word 37 times to represent the years he was born, and then you called it clever? I knew this was going to be some bullshit, y'all. I never heard my mom say it. What? Wow. Drake having black blood does not make him a part of the culture, man.
Look, I know this is all about culture and not really about race, but no matter how you spin it, a lot of the themes that Kendrick uses in his own music, Drake's family also went through, and that is his heritage. I went through his dad's entire genealogy.
And why are you doing that? You did that in the 616 in LA video as well. Why are you looking up people's family trees, bro?
Families from the deep south, right? They were indeed enslaved. They really had it bad. And you can't remove that blood from Drake. So a lot.
No one is trying to remove blood from Drake. Drake having black blood does not make him a part of the culture, man. It does not matter how you slice it. It does not matter how many family trees you look up and you see how many black ass cousins or aunties he got. Aubrey Graham grew up in the Jewish suburbs of Canada and seen his father every once in a blue moon. Those are Drake's words, not mine. There's no assumption. Encroaching on people's family history to prove what? To prove points you are assuming is insane. To say he got enslaved family members. Oh, they use the N-word too? What? What his family may or may not have gone through does not make it Drake's personal experience because he himself did not live it. So no, because his cousin and them been through some shit, that does not mean Drake gets to say the N-word. I would much respected it if you didn't say anything at all, Matt. I would have respected if you didn't say anything at all, because you saying he said the N-word 37 times and that his cousins, because they black, they probably say it, is crazy. It's crazy. Like, I'm low-key baffled. And this is not me being dramatic. Like, I'm just low-key baffled. What? You don't get to say the N-word because your auntie that you've barely seen gets to say it. Kendrick's entire point is not about whether Drake is black or not. Kendrick knows Drake is a black man. The issue is Drake's cosplaying of the worst type of black man, if it existed. You can pull up the files. I question how you would address this point in the song. And as expected, you failed. You brushed it off as him saying the N-word 37 times is how long he's lived life. What? Like, where did you get that from? Like, I feel like I lost a brain cell just now. What? I can't. I really can't.
Picks right back up from where he left off with push-ups. Now, the moment he breaks into this melody, a shot is shown of a van resembling Kendrick's childhood van, famously covered on Good Kid, Mad City, being towed in Toronto with a clear image of the CN Tower in frame. Now, many people seem to believe that Drake physically somehow purchased Kendrick's family van, but this is simply not the case.
Some people, don't say some people, say the Ovi hoes, because they are the only ones who believe that. The van was fake. That was not Kendrick's mom van.
As you can see, these vans are similar, but Kendrick's family van is a 96 Dodge Caravan, whereas the van in the video is a 96 Plymouth Voyager.
You could see the trim's different, the rims are different. It's just not the same van.
And in the beginning, I was really surprised with Drake's lack of detail because finding the exact same model would have been a way better flex. But I literally scoured the internet myself to try to find the same van to purchase, and it was pretty much impossible.
I think Drake just found the closest thing that he could, which was the Voyager, and it served its purpose for the video.
Drake contracted a...
No, it did not serve its purpose for the video because it wasn't the van. Oh my God. It was not the van. You can't try to pretend something is something and it's not it. What? It did not serve its purpose. You can't pass a van that's not even the same make or model off as being the van, Kendrick's mom's van that's on the cover of Good Kid, Mad City. No, it did not make its point. You're flexing a van that's not the actual van. The same way he was flexing, I guess the cousins didn't give me that timestamp, but he's flexing that he the Pharrell jewelry that Drake bought at an auction, that he lied and said he melted down, but then you pop up in the Family Matters video with it. I don't even know if we got to that point yet, but that's 2 instances so far that we have on the tally sheet where you lied. You're flexing that you have this man's jewelry that you paid your hard-earned money for, and you're flexing it as if you jacked him for it. You don't get points for that. Flexing jewelry you bought. That's not gangster. You don't get points for getting a van that kind of looks like the van on the Good Kid, Mad City cover. What? Okay. All right. I see what's going on. I see what's going on.
Drake claims that if this is 100% a shot at Kendrick. Drake claims that if Kendrick really had a set, meaning if he was really a gang member,
mind you, you're using the video of Kendrick with the members behind him. What?
Ross, but this is 100% a shot at Kendrick. Drake claims that if Kendrick really had a set,
you're using a video with the members behind him.
meaning if he was really a gang member, they would give him a DP to knock his ass back in line. Now, a DP is synonymous and gets out of
Bruh,
line.
I don't need you explaining gang culture.
Misrepresent. And if you don't think Kendrick was acting a little bit hard or flexing some gang shit in his beef, just look at what he was saying.
No, he was not flexing any gang stuff. But let me hear what he got to say of what he thinks is him flexing gang culture.
If he walk around with that stick, it ain't Andre 3K.
If he walk around with that stick, it ain't Andre 3K. Think I won't drop the location? If he walk around with that stick, he's referencing a fucking gun. All gang members have guns. Andre 3000 walks around with a stick. It was a double. That's the gang culture.
Think I won't drop the location.
He's talking about the strap.
Talking about a gun makes you gang affiliated or a gang member.
It's a K with all these nines. He gonna see Pet Cemetery.
More gun talk.
It's a fucking double. Referencing a type of dog. All these canines. He gonna see Pet Cemetery for all the dogs. Wow.
Extortion my middle name as soon as you jump off of that plane, bitch.
I mean, he's pretty much claiming that when Drake touches down, he's got to check in.
Blick niggas all in the coffin.
Again with the blicky.
No one go bleed in your face.
He just basically said, I'm gonna kill you, nigga. That's what he said. He's gonna kill him.
Someone is going to bleed in your family.
Yeah, someone is gonna get hurt. If you talk about my family, Crody, that's not gang talk. That's anybody talk. You do anything to my family, I'm gonna hurt you. You think that's gang talk? Oh, you have no idea.
Eating fried rice with a dip sauce and a blammy, Crody.
Now he's talking about the blammy.
Yes, he's sitting on the side of the table eating fried rice with duck sauce with a gun on his side, letting you know I'm in your hood and I'm with whatever. Miss Bynum, I have never been in a gang and I have several. Me too. my boyfriend got a whole situation set up in the house. He ain't no gang member. I guess though. I guess y'all. If you got a gun in this chat, you a gang member. You a stepper. You a real member.
You know who really bang except my nigga Chuck T.
Next, Drake makes reference to the game who actually has a relationship with both of these guys. Now, I gotta.
The way he said both of these guys is so funny. Why did he say it like that? Wait, and look how petty. YG's first week sales are abysmal. Wait, I need to go back because he mentioned YG, I guess.
And YG claimed this wasn't about Drake.
You gonna have me.
Matters video on the screen. Drake.
Weird ass nigga in your feelings about these bitches. Weird ass niggas off that perk you be tripping.
So right off rip, you'll notice that YG also uses lyrics on the screen, which is unusual, as he's clearly mocking Drake's Family Matters video. Furthermore, he uses words like "in your feelings," which is a reference to Drake's big hit.
When it's smoke, don't ever mention my name. You gon' have me jeopardizing my fame, jeopardizing the gang, jeopardizing what you hate, nigga.
And as you could see here, he's clearly not happy about Drake mentioning his name in Family Matters. And
rightfully so, because why would you get on a record and indict these men as having gang ties? Of course he's going to feel a type of way. He's an actual member. But if Drake knew better, and if he actually grew up around that stuff, like he wants to claim to be now in his late 30s, pushing 40, he would know better. He would know you don't get on no record and try to say this person is in a gang. This person is in a gang. You don't do that. That's why YG had a problem. That's not something you do. You don't know what YG is out there connected to in them streets.
Even if they are friends, which it looks like they aren't, roping YG into this thing was very miscalculated. Like this, you can't look good at. Hopefully that was worth it for him. We'll see in time.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not about record sales. Clearly, him and Kendrick got a real friendship. YG is not hanging his hat on in his relationships on record sales.
You know who really bang set my nigga Chuck T.
Next, Drake makes reference to the game who actually has a relationship with both of these guys. Now, I gotta be honest, a lot of people gave the game flack for not showing up at the pop-out show.
What do you mean not showing up at the pop-out show? He wasn't invited to the pop-out show. So of course he wasn't showing up. He wasn't invited. He was not allowed to be there. And you know, one of them real members, ain't saying no names, but one of them real members told him he would get the beats if he showed up. They told him to fix his posture. He wasn't there because he didn't want to be there. He wasn't there because he was not invited. He was not welcomed.
But I personally respect what the game did here. Much like many artists, Drake has done a lot for the game, and he's one of very few that really showed some loyalty here. I don't think it was necessary for him to turn on Drake. He stayed neutral throughout the entire beef, and hopefully Kendrick also understood.
You siding with this nigga and that nigga. When the fuck y'all heard me say a motherfucking thing about who I'm siding with?
Nigga, you got on. You know what? I'm not even going there with the game. The weirdo is always on the wrong side of history. He got a track record of being on the wrong side of history. An overgrown weirdo. Like you said, you hope YG's record sales were worth it. I hope those concert tickets for the game was worth it.
Then makes a reference to Chris.
You know who even bang set out there? CB.
Drake then makes a reference to Chris Brown, and many might think this is a gimmick, but Chris really is a full-on Fruit Town Pyru, and this is a...
You believe that? You believe that?
Really great little dig, because Chris Brown is an R&B singer from Virginia, but unlike Kendrick, a Compton native who was only an affiliate, Chris is a full-on gang.
Only an affiliate. Kendrick Lamar, who grew up in Compton all his life. Let me let him finish. Let me let him finish.
Drake is saying, like, you're so soft that even this R&B guy is harder than you. He's an actual gang member. And when it comes to Chris Brown, although he did have a heated beef with Drake that eventually got squashed, I believe he's also a neutral party in this beef. We got a video of Chris Brown bopping around in the club to Not Like Us. But let's be real, like, Not Like Us is a banger. Like, it's hard not to bop your head to it. It's pretty much...
Do you know how stupid Drake was to mention all of these men? This is very police-like. Ain't no real gangsters. Ain't no real members. Ain't no real affiliates getting on a record and saying, oh, this person bangs a set. Oh, that person bangs a set. Mentioning Chris Brown as someone who bangs a set is absolutely fucking hilarious. As Chris Brown waited until his late 20s to pay a monthly fee to bang a set. Pledging grad chapter at 30 was a choice, a weird choice. And Chris Brown is no different than Drake. Good kids who came from good areas waiting until they're in their late 20s to want to rep a gang. They are literally twins. Chris Brown pays a monthly fee. That's impressive to you? Chris Brown ain't no real gang member. They let him wear them flags because he pays a monthly fee. And then Drake, you bragging about a man who beat you up. You bragging about a man who beat you up. Imagine bragging about a man who beat you up's gang ties. No actual person who actually comes from that would go around bragging about a set another man reps. And even if he's trying to compare him to someone else, that's not cold. That's not something you do. And you and Drake would know that if you actually came from that, or if you had family that came from that, or if you were affiliated with that. I'm not no gang member, but I know some. And I know better. Bragging about another man's crimes or his associations are not it, which is exactly why YG called him a weirdo. And then mentioning other men in comparison to Kendrick, a kid from Compton who grew up in a Pyro neighborhood, whose dad was banging, whose uncles and cousins rep both sides of sets. But the OGs did not put him in them stripes because they knew what he could be. That's why Kendrick don't got no actual stripes. That's why he's an affiliate. Because they made sure he didn't go down that path because he was one of the gifted children. We have that in hoods where there's the gifted kid on the block and we all look out for them. And we make sure they don't get in trouble because we know they're going to be somebody someday. You usually see that with the young basketball players. No, you can't do that. You could be outside here and there, but no, we're not gonna do that for you. The OGs didn't put those stripes on Kendrick because they knew what he would actually be someday. Even though he outside on occasions. Even though he outside tripping with his homies. Did you listen to Good Kid, Mad City? At the end of the day, this isn't even something that you should be bragging about, especially not at 37. But again, I can assure you it wasn't Drake who grew up seeing someone get shot in the head point blank range. So the audacity of a kid from a Jewish suburb in Canada to feel like he G-checking somebody when he's paying to be associated with real gang members and killers. Please stop playing with me. Lame, corny. If I had a tomato, I would throw it. Drake, you are a walking lick. Like, what? I knew this video was going to be some bullshit. I know it was going to be some bullshit. Again, shout out to the cousins for the timestamps because I can't get through no 3 hours of this shit.
Now, the first line did not sit well with a lot of people, and coming off Kendrick's claims on Euphoria about how Drake is disconnected from the culture, this line seemingly supported Kendrick's narrative. However, I don't feel like Drake is saying anything disrespectful about the conscious hip-hop that Kendrick does. What he's really doing here is saying that Kendrick is fake. When you look at these two lines in conjunction, I honestly don't think Drake is downplaying slavery here at all. What Drake really means by this is that the subject matter of Kendrick's music is all for show and that he's a grifter. And look, it's not my place to tell anyone how they should feel about this line, but I just feel Drake isn't downplaying the message, he's downplaying the messenger. And when those two lines are together, that's his goal, to paint Kendrick as being fake. And J. Cole again shared the exact same sentiments as what Drake had.
Niggas fake, progressive, and woke. I started saying less. I had to stop it. Peeped how they profit off of racial stress.
When you actually take what Drake said and align it with what Cole is saying, these lines are pretty much identical because they both refer to Kendrick as someone that profits off of racial tension, but Cole really drives this home even further in the next two lines.
Some activists got so rich they probably wish we stay oppressed. Studio steppers moving extra on songs fake and rep.
So Cole makes a reference to Kendrick's album Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers and suggests that K-Dot is faking the funk for money. And it's in this first bar where it's even more similar to Drake's line, as they are both saying the exact same thing here. It's fairly apparent that both J. Cole and Drake aren't shooting shots at the subject matter itself, but more at the person who's delivering it. Shots at the subject matter itself.
I am crying. Now he why you ain't use Logic? Why you ain't use a picture of Logic?
But more at the person who's delivering it as they see it as a grift. And that's not the last time that J. Cole called Kendrick a fraud.
Your arms might be too short to box with the God who live his life without the pressures of a constant facade.
So Cole and Drake are saying the exact same thing. This dude is a grifter.
Don't even go back to your hood and plant no money.
Oh, hold up.
Trees.
Drake.
Okay, before I move on to the money trees part. Rapping like you're trying to get the slaves free. You said their belief of him rapping like he's trying to get the slaves free is in regards to the context of his song, what he raps about, the people in his community, the ups, the downs, the trials and the tribulations that they go through, the things that they face that include police brutality, colorism, things like that. What about that is slave related? What about that is slave related? What about empowering Black people is slave related? And then you're harping on it as if it's a fact because J. Cole also agreed with it. Mind you, J. Cole also have the same subject matters. They both agreed on something because they didn't have anything to talk about. So again, what about Kendrick music is slave related? Talking about the plight of his community and himself, talking about empowering Black people is slave music. If his goal was to say Kendrick is fake for trying to rap about freeing his people, then it failed. And you dug deep in your ass and pulled out shit to try to make sense of that terrible bar. I know you're supposed to try to break it down, but when you heard that back, when you rewatched the video, you didn't think that was stupid? Are you deciphering the lyrics for what they mean? Or are you making up what you think you want them to mean? Especially because you're agreeing to equate Kendrick music because it has a struggle to it. And because it was the soundtrack to Black Lives Matter movement when George Floyd got killed. And the many others, Black lives that were lost to police brutality. All Right was blaring through all types of speakers. So that's rapping like you're trying to get the slaves free? That's pathetic. What's grifting about that? What's grifting about uplifting your people and being on the front lines for those people? You said he weaponized the N-word 37 times to represent the amount of years he was born, and then telling him he rapping like he trying to get the slaves free is exactly Kendrick's point of Drake being out of touch with culture. No man, no black person who's lived those struggles will try to weaponize the N-word against someone, or he would not say, you rapping like you trying to get the slaves free. He does not come from that culture, so he doesn't understand it. He did not live it. So that's why he didn't think it was an issue. That's why you also don't think it's an issue. And then you're trying to use J. Cole as an ally. When one, he also has the same raps. And then he took it back. Then he called himself a liar. Jake, mind you, J. Cole was also outside with Kendrick Lamar on the front lines. So is J. Cole a hypocrite and a grifter as well? Imagine a man using the N-word 37 times and then telling you rapping about trying to free the slaves. Imagine that coming from a man, Drake, who has never, not once in his entire career, took a political stance or stood with black people in his life. You know who has? J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. So no white man is getting off or white splaining, rapping like you're trying to get the slaves free, as if it's okay thing to do. You are out of your mind. You are out of your mind. You got me fucked up. You should have skipped this video, buddy.
Doesn't go back to his neighborhood to spread the wealth.
Money trees is the perfect place for shade, and that's just how I feel.
Now, I think everyone knows that Kendrick has a long history of giving back to Compton and LA in general. I could make a whole other video about this, and maybe sometime I will. But let's just say that he's given back hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions. He's definitely amazing with charity, but there's more to it than just that. Planting money trees isn't just about donating to charities for a potential tax break. What I think Drake really means here is he's talking about things like, what businesses has Kendrick created in his community? Based on my research, he owns PG Lang, and that's pretty much it. So Drake makes a pretty solid point here. If you want to talk about giving back to people on the West, look no further than what the late, great Nipsey Hussle did.
I got a problem with this. And I tweeted this the other day. I literally tweeted this the other day. I have a problem with this. I literally tweeted this the other day. I said, one thing I have not liked about this entire beef is the use of West Coast legends who have passed away against Kendrick. They did it with Tupac, and they've been doing it with Nipsey. First saying Kendrick did nothing for his family, and now comparing his death to a halftime show. That's because this girl tweeted a screenshot of a Vlad interview where a guy said Lil Wayne not getting the Super Bowl felt like Nipsey Hussle dying all over again. Y'all are very fucking disrespectful to keep bringing up these dead men and trying to compare them to Kendrick Lamar. Why are we even including people and comparing him to people? Okay. I'll let you continue though.
Nip created multiple businesses, truly growing money trees on his home soil. This is one of the best investments that you could do for your community, as it not only provides goods and services for the people, but it
So there's only one type of way you can do good for your community. You have to build businesses and just employ them.
creates job opportunities. This man had restaurants, barbershops, full-on education programs for kids of color, affordable housing. He was trying to work with police to help with gang violence. Nipsey was planting money trees left, right, and center, and he even planned to roll out some of these programs in other states in America. And then there's another layer of planting money trees. The question needs to be asked, what has Kendrick done for West Coast rappers? What is he doing to put money into the pockets of LA artists? What is he doing to find the next Kendrick Lamar? The answer is not as much as you would expect.
Why does he need to find the next Kendrick Lamar? And what do you to say because Kendrick doesn't have multiple businesses in comparison to Nipsey? What has he done? What? To say the toy drives he's done, the aftercare programs, the tuitions, the buying clothing, shoes, feeding doesn't count because it's a tax write-off, and because he's not giving people, allegedly giving people jobs. Do you know every single one of them gang members that you highlighted in the video that were standing behind Kendrick Lamar, all of them are employed by Kendrick Lamar? All of the a good majority of those men are on tour with him, working actual jobs. What? Those men work for PG Lang. Those are his employees. And to say toy drives, aftercare programs, to giving kids tuition is not enough because he not doing exactly what Nipsey Hussle did. God bless his soul. Mind you, these things we only know about because other people told us, not Kendrick Lamar. He doesn't do these things for recognition. You think Nipsey and these other business owners didn't have tax write-offs? Those same tax write-offs Drake has? What have you donated and provided to Canada to be able to tell a man he isn't doing enough for his community? Trying to go band for band of what, oh, you did this much for the community, you did that much for the community, oh, that don't count. That's crazy.
Excluding features that he's done with his label mates on TDE, which really shouldn't count, Kendrick's discography.
Why shouldn't it count if he the head of the label? Why doesn't it count? Do you know Kendrick Lamar got J-Rock his first Grammy? Without Kendrick Lamar, J-Rock probably wouldn't have got that Grammy. So what do you mean TDE artists don't count?
Discography isn't exactly the definition of promoting West Coast artists.
That is a lie. That is a lie. Every producer that's on Kendrick Lamar's projects come from the West Coast. Besides like Jack Dorsey and shit like that. Blast is all over is all over Mr. Morale in the Big Steppers. The Black Panther album, nothing but West Coast artists on it. So what do you mean he's not helping? YG when he was up and coming, those things don't count. Okay.
There's a lot of budding MCs coming out of LA right now. And not only has Kendrick not planted any money trees for them, he's hardly even planted a seed.
He put nearly 50 LA artists on the pop out stage and all got them extra gigs. What do you mean he's not putting no one on? Every single one of those unheard of artists that were on that pop out stage went on record and saying they got gigs after. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? You know where they couldn't get a gig? In Toronto. One of the dudes, I forgot his name, Hispanic guy, he ended up getting a gig in Toronto because he was on that pop out stage. And guess what? He couldn't go because Drake's feelings were hurt. So the gig that Kendrick helped him get in Toronto, Drake shot it down. So what are we talking about? We talking about Kendrick don't plant no money trees and Kendrick don't put other artists on. What artist has Drake put on besides The Weeknd? Other than that, it's Over Your Sweatshop. Write them fucking songs. Who's his artist? He ain't find the next Kendrick Lamar. No, because he found the next Baby Keem. That's who he found. Grammy Award winning Baby Keem. I ain't never seen Drake put a Grammy in somebody else's hands, a new artist's hands. I've seen Kendrick Lamar put a Grammy in somebody's hand. I've seen J. Cole put a Grammy in somebody's hand. J. Cole is the reason why Lil Durk got a Grammy. I ain't never seen Drake do that. So what is we talking about? He ain't plant no money trees because he don't got no businesses. What? His business is PG Lane, and about 15, 20 of those gang members who he's trying to help reform work for PG Lane. So what are we talking about? We bragging about gang members and banging sets, and then we have Kendrick Lamar actually employing gang members and getting them off the street from selling drugs and from doing crazy things. And we talking about he ain't planting no money trees, but you got Drake bragging about gang members banging sets while Kendrick Lamar is employing them. Stop playing with me. Please stop playing with me.
It's the small things like this that Kendrick Lamar lacks, and Drake makes a very good point. One could even argue that Kendrick's strategy with his pop-out show was a way to address narratives like this one. Again, if we're talking West Coast, look at Nipsey. Look at Nip. Look, when you're a...
Look at him. What? What are we looking at? Is Kendrick Lamar not West Coast? Is Kendrick Lamar not Compton? What are we talking about? This man, Nipsey Hussle, a reformed member, died at the hands of another member from another set. And you want to sit in this video and you want to compare and contrast Kendrick Lamar and Nipsey Hussle? That's what you want to do? We really comparing, contrasting Kendrick Lamar and Nipsey Hussle? You don't know how disgusting that is? A man who really lived that life, who died. A man's funeral who Kendrick Lamar had to go to. And you want to compare them to each other? Because one person had more businesses than the other? That's disgusting. That's very disgusting.
Brings up how Kendrick made mention to his son Adonis on Euphoria.
That's whole shit. I got a son to raise, but I can see you don't know nothing about that.
And it's because of that where Drake says, okay, now it's fair game.
You a dog and you know.
Are we forgetting that Drake hinted at Whitney first? What do you mean it's fair game?
You just play sweet.
So this line is actually pretty impactful and 100% true, but it'll make a lot more sense if I explain it in a few more bars.
Your baby mama captions always screaming, save me.
Drake continues to dish out more shots, as when we look at Whitney's captions on Instagram, they don't seem to scream happy relationship by any means. Now, she is a new mother, right? So she could have went through postpartum depression. Those posts don't mean that that's about their relationship. As far as the visuals go, it's at
Whitney literally runs an organization, a foundation dedicated to postpartum depression. She tells us every chance that she dealt with it. And now she's working to help other women deal with it. What are we talking about? What? Like, how insensitive.
this point where the loader heads towards the crusher with the van on its forks.
You did it dirty.
Crushing a vehicle, that's you wasted your time crushing that vehicle when somebody somebody mama or somebody could use that vehicle. But you did it for the aesthetic of pretending that's the Good Kid, Mad City vehicle.
Drake makes the claim that Kendrick has been doing Whitney dirty his whole life. All right, so let's just look at the timeline of all the times that Kendrick did Whitney dirty that we know of. It was back in 2010 where Kendrick spoke about just how poorly he treated her while Whitney stayed at home alone.
And she know they got me. I watch her feelings watch me.
Wait, what the hell?
They staring with the saddest eyes of loneliness.
Now, you could say this is just him telling a story and it's not about them, but we can at least admit at the very minimum that the parallels are interesting. And he would only go on to break more promises, as at the end of this record, he commits to being faithful to her from that point on.
So to what's important in my life, I apologize. I promise to stay faithful, focused, and sanctified.
So even from a very early point here, we have Kendrick admitting to wrongdoings on a record, and because he appallingly give this behavior a pass, doesn't change the fact that he was sliming her pretty bad.
Sliming her pretty bad. You're even using Drake rhetoric. No one denies he was sliming her pretty bad. We all know he was a piece of shit. We know this. This isn't groundbreaking, bro. Jesus Christ. We only 55 minutes into this shit. Oh God, y'all. Hold on. They said go to 56, 40. Hold on.
It's not really dirt. I'm just chilling. I don't be messing with the groupies like that.
Then I found a tweet from Whitney's sister, which was 2 months after the festival, where
I thought so. I thought so. Yeah, you watched that video.
she said, "He's been with my sister since high school. This acts as another check mark in the timeline." And this is why Drake said you like to play sweet a few bars earlier. Now we can explain that. Drake cleverly plays off his previous puppy love line to claim that Kendrick is a complete dog when it comes to women. And even 13 years ago, it was on the Buried Alive track where Kendrick is talking all about how he can't wait for his music to pop off so that he can live like Drake and smash groupies.
What?
Red, I'ma go and get some head off the strength of my music. I tell a bad bitch, yo ass too fat, capitalize that. Your wig look good with the Indian tracks.
So 13 years ago, Kendrick is saying he wants to get some head off the strength of his music, which is exactly what he did, as just 1 year and 8 months later, he would cheat on Whitney and dipped into the vanilla cream at a festival in Copenhagen.
Do you know how cringe that is? He would dip in the vanilla cream. First of all, this isn't the first time he dipped in the vanilla cream.
No, the crowd was different in Copenhagen, babe. Like they really do love me out here. It's crazy. And of course, Kendrick had to frame those lyrics.
That's the corny shit I be talking about. This is the corny shit I was talking about. Because why are you reenacting shit? You did that in the previous videos. Kendrick is a liar. Microaggression galore. Same thing that got him in this shit before with the Twitter shit. I had sex with those white girls, baby. I did it for us. I did it for slavery. That's what got you in the hot seat now, bro. Kendrick is a liar, y'all. And he's proven it because Kendrick barely talked about his relationship with Whitney. And when they asked him in the interviews, oh, are you booed up? And he said, yeah. Kendrick confirms he's been with her since high school, which isn't a shocker. And then you said, oh, well, he was treating on her during those interviews to drive home Drake's point of doing her dirty when we already got the evidence from the horse's mouth. And then you showing a tweet from Whitney's sister to confirm that her and Whitney was dealing with each other at a certain point of time. And it's just like, okay, they've been on and off again since high school. At one point, we know Kendrick was in another public relationship with Nitty. And then him and Whitney got back together. We know he was a serial cheater. He told us. Whitney told us. Drake didn't need to tell us this. We knew that already. We got it from the horse's mouth. So very groundbreaking research, Matt. Good job. Good job. I don't know what I would do if I didn't know that information.
On Taylor Made, he used an AI Snoop and Tupac to mock Kendrick, question his authenticity, claimed he was powerless to Taylor Swift, and he ended off the track by claiming that Kendrick was in his New York apartment struggling. And then Kendrick said this on Euphoria.
If you take it there, I'm taking it further. That's something you don't want to do.
Okay, so the question is, take what where, take what further? What did Drake say in those two tracks that would make Kendrick react like this? Well, there's only two answers. Something to do with the Who Kid drop, which would indicate that he picked up on what it meant, or something to do with Whitney. Kendrick is
No, Matt. It was predictable. That's why Kendrick knew. Drake draws from the same textbook every time he's in a beef. He doesn't give a good game plan. He doesn't mix his game plans up. It's the same every single time. He mentions a person's family. He mentions a child. It's the same song and dance with Drake. So of course Kendrick knew what it was. Euphoria lined up the entire battle. And he told us in Euphoria exactly how it would go. And it went the exact way he said it would go. So no, I don't think he was worried about anything. He knew what he would come with because that's just what he does. He did it with Meek Mill, mentioning Nicki Minaj. He did it with Fisher T, mentioning Virginia. He hinted at it in another song. Kendrick told him, don't bring up my wife. He knew where it was going to go. He read him like a book. On top of the fact the man probably had a mole in his camp. It was predictable. Jesus Christ.
Drake is claiming that Whitney and Dave could have been messing around.
I'd be pretty much shocked if the kids weren't Kendrick's. Like, to me, we don't need a DNA test here.
However, there's no solid evidence that Whitney and Dave were ever involved, and it seems unlikely given how close Kendrick is with Dave. They continue to collaborate even on significant ventures like partnering for PG Lang.
So because this was supposed to be like the knockout punch for Drake, like he put a lot of stock in this info, I don't think he just made this up out of thin air. I think someone told him this and he bought it. He believed it.
Now, for me personally, I don't feel like the Not Like Us video proves that Kendrick and Whitney are still together. This is just my take, but I believe they separated a while ago, and the Mr. Morale album was a form of therapy for them, and I do believe they are now co-parenting.
That's just my opinion, guys. I do think Drake got this part right, but we'll see in time.
How is that your opinion? Are you going to bring us facts of why you think this? Are you going to give us proof of why you think this, or are you just thinking outside your brain? Like you didn't even give us a reason why you think that. We don't want you to think or give us your opinion. We want you to give us the breakdown. And you didn't break down anything. So what is your theory based on? What is this based on? And yes, look at them big ass ears. Them children belong to Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. Like what? You clearly have this man on record being a habitual liar, but you're going to believe him that these two people are not together, and you have no ground to stand on to say why you don't think these people are together. They live together. Whitney ended the album. And of course, because I'm not that type of person, I'm not going to expose her private Instagram account. But baby, they together. They together.
Bought it. He believe they separated them, and I do believe they are now co-parenting. That's just my opinion, guys. I do think Drake got this part right, but we'll see in time.
How will we see in time? With two people that's private.
At the end of the day, Kendrick is the father of her children. She knew him since high school, and Drake did drag her into this beef, so I can't see why she wouldn't help Kendrick out with the video.
Fabricating stories on the family front.
With just the video? Matt, you know she was at the pop-out? You know she was at the college event that he randomly popped up at? What? Oh, I guess because yeah, Kendrick put his ex on his album cover. Definitely. And they don't follow each other on Instagram, so they can't be together. You know how childish in high school that sounds? Like what?
Because you heard Mr. Morale.
And I truly believe that lines like this one acted as a safety net, as it was Kendrick's way of trying to get ahead of these things before they came out.
No, it was exactly where he got the information from. He watched, what is it called? What is the song called? Yeah, what is the song called? We Cry Together. He watched We Cry Together and grew his inspiration from that. He knew you would try to use the concept of his last album, which you tried to do. You even got the information from Mother I Sober wrong because you skimmed through it. What are we talking about, y'all? Oh my God, I don't think I can sit through any more of this shit. I really don't think I can sit through any more of this shit.
Me personally, I believe that there just might be a layer of truth mixed in there somewhere that Kendrick recognized he needed to step on. As far as Whitney sleeping with another man besides Kendrick, I saw people acting as if this was impossible, but I do feel.
Don't tell me he about to do what he about to do. Do not tell me he about to say what he about to say. Do not fucking tell me he about to say what he about to say. Y'all, I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose it. If he about to say this woman slept with somebody, if he about to say this woman slept with somebody, and it's just based off of just trust me, bro, I'm gonna fucking lose it. I'm gonna lose it. Oh wait, the volume is low.
Throughout his to be like the knockout punch for Drake, like he put a. I think someone. I don't feel like the.
I don't press too far back.
Out. Me personally, I believe that there just might be a layer of truth mixed in there somewhere that Kendrick recognized he needed to step on. As far as Whitney sleeping with another man besides Kendrick, I saw people acting as if this was impossible, but I do feel like the psychological damage that Kendrick did to her throughout his own infidelity would cause many women to seek that affection from someone else.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What? How do you know that, Matt? You are no better than Drake. accusing her of being a whore. And you're going to double down on it and say because he cheated on her, she ran to another man and had sex with him? How do you know she slept with another man? Because a habitual liar told you so? Wow. What? Because Drake, a man who has the most toxic relationship with women, and you championing it, you championing that as a possibility, that is so irresponsible. You didn't even have to say that. This video has been filled with nothing but assumptions. There's no proof of anything. I haven't seen proof of anything yet. We're an hour in and I haven't seen proof of any to back up any bar yet. And the things that you've given me examples of is the Good Kid, Mad City vehicle that wasn't the video, the vehicle that was on the cover of the album. What? And you really championing him disrespecting this woman? Just like you know what you could have simply said? You don't know if it's true. To say this woman slept with some other man because Kendrick cheated on her is disgusting. That's disgusting. That's nothing but sexism. That's nothing but misogyny, and you're doubling down on it. Wow.
I mean, come on now, guys. Like, if you treat a woman like that for as long as he did, do you really think it's a 0% possibility that she might just eventually veer off with someone else?
What? What do you mean? Come on. Yes, I believe there's a possibility that she won't do that because I don't know her and I don't know her character. To assume that she's the type of woman that would go around sleeping with people. You believe this to be true because Drake told you that? And you're doubling down on it to some, but come on, bro. Like I said in my other video, Family Matters is nothing but a degradation and to embarrass Whitney. And then we have you here telling some, well, come on, bro. You don't think that's possible? You know what's possible? Her leaving. Which she did. And she told him, if you don't get your shit together, I'm gone. That's what she did. We have proof that's what she did because it's in Mr. Morale. It's not in Mr. Morale that she slept with other men. That's so disgusting. You are putting random bodies on this woman because the weirdo from Canada told you. You don't do that. This is sexism and misogyny, and you're doubling down on it. Wow. Wow. And then you got the nerve to say, come on, bro, you don't think that's possible? No, because I don't know her. I don't know her fucking character. So no, I don't know if that's possible. She's not a celebrity. She doesn't put her business out there. So disrespectful.
Minute milkman who, like Kendrick, has a past of infidelity.
Oh, and then you use psychology effects. Then you use psychology effects. What kind of weirdo shit is that?
Two light-skinned kids, the shit would be cute.
Drake begins with the
two light-skinned kids, that would be cute. Nigga, Adonis is not light-skinned. That is a white child. What?
A hypothetical scenario suggesting that their two sons go on a play date at the park together. He uses this opportunity to emphasize that both children are light-skinned. Although Kendrick's child isn't anywhere near to as light,
Those are not two light-skinned children. That is a black child and a white child. A mixed child. You know what? I'm not gonna take Adonis's identity from him because he's a baby. This isn't his fault. But these are not two light-skinned children. So we're not gonna pretend that they are. First of all, why is it a mention of that? What kind of colorist shit is that? Kendrick's kids are 3/4 black. His mother's father is black. Her mother is black and mixed. So no, it's not the same where Drake is half black and his baby mama is a full white woman. This is how delusional Drake is. He had sex with that white woman and thought his child will come out light-skinned with curly nappy hair. That's how delusional he is. When this beautiful little baby came out, he could not believe that was his child. So he got 10 paternity tests because he could not believe that was his child based on his child's look. But Drake, newsflash, that's what happens when you're half white and you have a child with a full white woman. The dominant gene shows up. You know why Whitney's children look black? You know why they look black? Do you know why Uzi has beautiful chocolate skin? Do you know why Enoch has beautiful golden brown skin? He actually looks like his grandfather. But you know why? Because his mama and his daddy are black. Stop playing with me. Ain't nothing light skin about Adonis in black terms. Ain't nothing light skin about him. And I don't care how many plaits, cornrows you put to the back of that little boy's head to overcompensate with his appearance. Just stop it. Just stop it. Stop playing.
light as Drake's, Drake leverages this to subtly accuse Kendrick of hypocrisy. So this is the big.
And God bless Adonis. This ain't about him. He can't help his daddy is an idiot. He can't help it. He cannot help it.
Beginning of a framework for what's to come, but basically he's just reminding the whole world that this is Kendrick's reality, right? He does have mixed children and he does seem to prefer light.
No, he has black children with a black woman. Those children are not mixed. Those are black children.
Better complected women.
Unless you don't want to be seen with anyone that isn't blacker than you.
He follows this up with a funny remark, hinting that Kendrick might feel embarrassed to be seen with his son due to his complexion. And this is really the beginning of him setting up the framework to claim that Kendrick really wants to be with white chicks, right? That's truly what he wants. But because he's Kendrick Lamar and he has this persona, he's not able to really do what he truly wants. He has to hide it. He's embarrassed to be seen. Something also worth mentioning is that in this third verse, Drake.
And who gives a damn if he prefers light-skinned women? That's the beautiful thing about being black. We come in all shades, shapes, and sizes. So again, who cares if he likes light-skinned women? They're still black women.
Drake tends to match a lot of the visuals with the lyrics. In the case of this section, we see the outside of a studio booth, and you'll notice that when the sign flashes to signal that a live recording is taking place, it's perfectly timed with the words "scene."
Unless you don't want to be seen with anyone that isn't blacker than you.
As far as what this symbolizes, Drake could be simply saying that it's on Family Matters where Kendrick is getting exposed, or Drake could be saying that he has a recording on Kendrick. Now, this is obviously a huge assumption, and it seems unlikely to me because it would have made a lot more sense to put any damaging footage out by now, but we'll have to see where this whole thing goes.
What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? What is this, a 100 gigs reference? Is that what that is? Please make my day. Please make this interesting.
Kendrick sees himself as Bishop. The Bishop can striving to match that playing that character wasn't really him either.
When you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense because she bigger than you?
So this is the first time that Drake has mentioned anything to do with domestic abuse between Kendrick and his fiancée Whitney. And by no means do I condone domestic violence, but this line is pretty funny because
What the fuck is funny about that? What the hell is funny about domestic violence? How is that funny? That's a weird thing to say or to admit. What is funny about a man allegedly putting his hands on a woman? It's funny because it's connected to a short joke. That's what makes it funny. Again, discussed it in my previous video about Family Matters and this being a diss and a degradation of Whitney. Because we have weirdos who are championing bullshit jokes of alleged domestic violence towards women. There's nothing funny about that. Nothing at all is funny about that.
because Kendrick's girl is indeed taller than him. So it's here where he claims that Kendrick put hands on Whitney, but he still manages to get another short joke off. Now, regarding the visuals, it's here where things become quite cryptic and intriguing.
I do not care about
property
that.
Justice Pirate be important for Drake, but I'm just explaining what's in the video.
Your back is up against the curb. You digging for dirt, should be digging for proof.
So again, it's here where Drake proves even more that the information that he was holding was something he felt was very significant for this battle. Drake labels Kendrick as someone who's in hot water and claims he's doing whatever he can to find dirt on Drake. Good again. About the New York line, this is just my opinion, but I think Drake got this part back. Opinion that Kendrick and Whitney are indeed separated. I think Drake got this opinion about the New York line in my tailor-made breakdown. And like I said before, I'm of the opinion that Kendrick and Whitney are indeed separated. I think Drake got this part bang on, but again, this is just my opinion, but ultimately, it is the furthest thing from a far-fetched take to have.
Proposed in 2015, but don't want to make her your actual wife.
Drake seems to be insinuating that they've been together for a long time, but this isn't what Kendrick really wants, and he's never really truly been committed.
I'm guessing this wedding ain't happening right, because we know the girls that you actually like.
Kendrick did propose in 2015, and while it's not a big deal to never get married, for a devoted Christian and a man of God, this is typically a priority. However, Drake has already referenced the facts regarding the cheating with white women, and he insinuates that this is what Kendrick really wants. Now, as far
First of all, Kendrick Lamar is not a Christian man. Jesus Christ. What are we doing?
As the visuals, we see someone that to me looks like Drake, but I can't be sure.
The darkest secrets are coming in light. It's all on your face. Like what happened to my
Drake embraces the old age saying, "What's done in the darkness will come to light," implying that no matter how sneaky or deceitful actions may be, they will eventually be exposed. Again, we get some clever wordplay here from Drake, as we have another Michael Jackson reference. MJ suffered from vitiligo, a condition that presents itself with white patches on the skin. It's here where Drake claims that all the things that Kendrick has done to grease Whitney over the years is written all over his face. And even if this is in Mr. Morale, that doesn't change the fact that it's a good angle. He's framed it like Kendrick's a closeted milkman, like white chicks is really what he really wants, what he's really into. The scene then flashes to Jeremiah, Drake's right-hand man next to Chubbs. As many of you know, in Meet the Grams, Kendrick claimed that Drake had a secret. And Drake continues with the MJ flip, as he had a brother named Jermaine, and by
First of all, rest in peace to Tito. Rest in peace to Tito Jackson.
all accounts, MJ allegedly did whatever he could to blackball his brother from reaching stardom. Then we got the fact.
What? Oh my God.
Fact that Jermaine
Y'all, I am trying to get through the end of this video.
Jackson had a documentary made.
But I've had enough. I've had enough. I've had a fuck enough. Where's the domestic violence? Where's that at?
There's nothing will have changed.
This shit gotta be over by now for anyone out here that's calling it right.
That's what I'm doing, is calling it right. That's all I've done this whole entire beef. Check the channel, check the
Go, bro, you don't have to keep telling us this. What are you trying to prove?
catalog. I've been showing both sides. Can't sit there and say that there's not plenty of bars on this track that don't deserve props, because there is. Like, for anyone that's just going to shit all over this record and call it garbage and trash and surface level, like, if you're one of those people, you're either A, an extreme deranged fan of Kendrick, meaning you literally worship a celebrity, or your hatred for Drake is that extreme that you can't even give him a compliment.
Or what the fuck? What the fuck are you, Matt? What the fuck are you? Or Matt is just not good. The only person who seems deranged here and who keeps wanting to harp on this fact of this song being so good because you believe so is you. You're the only one here who seems deranged and a worshiper of a celebrity, because you are trying so hard to convince us that this song is worth listening to and liking when it simply is not good. In the sense of solely being directed at Kendrick, it stinks. This song is 40% about Kendrick Lamar and it's targeting of everybody else. We don't have to like this song because you fucking said it, Matt. Who the fuck are you? That right there is your bias seeking through. We don't need you to tell us if a song is worth liking. We need you to break down the bars. That's it. And even if people do have biases, at least they're able to admit them. Whereas you can't admit it. That right there is your bias seeking through. Your objectivity is out the window when you accuse strangers of being haters just because they don't like a song. Remember you called me that the other day? You want to convince us so bad that you're not biased, yet you just make yourself to appear more biased. The song isn't groundbreaking. The song is not good. We literally just sat through 2 hours and 10 minutes of you saying, trust me, bro. Or that's my opinion. You didn't give us no solid proof of anything. The cousins told me you mentioned, oh, Kendrick Lamar was at a hotel on this day. Whereas the young lady from the security footage says, oh, this happened Memorial Day weekend. And then the guy next to her says, oh yeah, the USC fight was going on that weekend. Mind you, the Memorial Day was what, the 24th or something like that? And then you showed in the video, Kendrick was there around May 3rd or something. So that does not even place him in the vicinity. 2 hours and 10 minutes of absolutely fucking nothing. The highlight of this video was you saying Drake used the N-word 37 times because it was representing his birth years. So no, you can't tell me that I have to like something because you like it. The song was trash.
You're dead. You're dead.
Drake says you're dead 3 times, which could very well be related to the 3 gunshots that we heard earlier. However, I feel what he's really trying to get across is that this track, along with the visuals, was intended to be a funeral for Kendrick. There's also the fact that he does have...
And it was crushed in 30 minutes. So how fucking good could the song be if it got stepped on in 30 minutes? You spent so long making this video and it got us nothing. Wow. The way you carried on so bad.
Found out his family is from the same place as mine, which we didn't grow up with no silver spoon. Like, it made sense he grew up poor, right? With all that said, what is the significance of Andrew in this video? Richest educated. He owns a chain of dental clinics. He's got the biggest property on Bridle Path. He's Justin Bieber's godfather. He's got a crazy rags to riches story. His story resonated with me because I found out his family is from the same place as mine, which we didn't grow up with no silver spoon. Like, it made sense he grew up poor, right? With all that said, what is the significance of Andrew in this video? Well, I think the purpose is to further cement Drake's connection to the Hells Angels. It seems as though Drake has deep ties with the organization, as they do respect him and likely see him as a brother. I mean,
See him as a brother or see him as a payment plan? We really champion him being clicked up with a biker gang with alleged ties to white supremacy? Reminder, the same man on a song that rapped someone was trying to get the slaves free and said the N-word 37 times. We brushing over him being associated with the Hells Angels as if they are some modeled citizens. What are we talking about, bro? I don't care how well that man, whatever his name is, dresses up. I don't care how many dentist offices he owns. I don't care if he put a suit on and take pictures with his kids to appear like a wholesome family. If you are a Hell's Angel, you are a Hell's Angel. We are not about to dress this up. What?
Here are 2 posts from Drake of motorcycles signed by Sonny Barger, a guy who often gets mistaken for creating the Hells Angels because he's that well known. It's also interesting to note that Sonny founded the Oakland, California chapter. Drake's been spotted with HA members many times. He's wearing...
Why are you calling them HA members? Call them the Hells Angels.
The support gear. He's mentioned it in music. And that's because Drake is clicked up with them.
And that's the flex. He's clicked up with a group that are allegedly accused of being white supremacists. That's the cool life. And you want to tell me him weaponizing the N-word 37 times was about his age, and him rapping about freeing the slaves is because, oh, Kendrick Lamar raps about empowering his people. This is what you presented to us. This is how you made sense of those slave and racist bars, by saying he lives a cool life because he's clicked up with it. Hell's Angels. That's the cool life. And again, you want to harp on us not liking this song? No, we don't have to like him telling us, oh, a black man is rapping like he's trying to get the slaves free. We don't have to like him flexing his connections to an alleged white supremacist group. No, we don't have to like him degrading and alleging an innocent woman was beat on a regular basis, and that she's a whore because she doesn't know who her baby father is, or her children belongs to her and Kendrick Lamar's childhood friend. We don't have to like that. That shit stinks. Notice how in your previous work, you had actual evidence to go along with the information you were presented. And in this video, when highlighting domestic violence or cheating, it's all based on assumption and possibility? Or you saying, guys, think about it? I think that's facts. Matt, you told me the other day when you called me a hater, you told me that this video will be talked about decades from now. So from a decade from now, what's supposed to change? When everything you said in this video is, I think. What is going to change a decade from now that makes this video good? I want you to let the air out of your head, because you're really big-headed right now. You're feeling yourself and you don't think your shit stink. Mind you, I praised you in your previous work. Check the files because it was good. You took your time. You actually gave us evidence. Even when there were some points I didn't agree with. But baby, please come down to earth and touch grass. This is not your best work. You tried to make points that were not fair. Most notably, the use of the N-word, and then you saying, oh, Kendrick cheated on her so bad. You don't think she would cheat? You don't think she would step out and be with another man? Psychologically? That's what you said in this video. And now it low-key all makes sense why you took the angle you took when you were trying to promote this video. Aside from, I think what you showed like some club appearances or something.
Is powerful because this is how the incident.
Because like half of her face was like blown out pretty much. She was with a certain rapper who had assaulted her. His first name was Kendrick. Kendrick Lamar? Yeah. There was cops there, and we didn't find out it was Kendrick until later.
And it's at this point where the Who Kid drop from Drake from push-ups starts to get a little more interesting. When we explore this further, the Who Kid drop wasn't just a reference to the Dave Free and Whitney allegations, but it pointed us right into the direction of when Kendrick performed in Las Vegas on May 3rd, 2014, with DJ Who Kid playing the very next day. Then we can't forget that Drake dropped his Family Matters record on May 3rd, so this was all extremely calculated. I can guarantee Kendrick did not want these allegations coming to light again. He picked up on that drop in push-ups right away, knew what it meant, and he acted accordingly.
Fabricate stories on the fan.
So you just confirmed that in push-ups, Drake made the first acknowledgement of Whitney. But just earlier in the video, you said Kendrick Lamar is what kicked the disrespect off. because he said, "Oh, you don't know nothing about that" in regards to the son. So which one is it? Drake started this.
Right away, knew what it meant, and he acted accordingly.
Fabricate stories on the family front because you heard Mr. Morale.
It's called a safety net, right? That's what that is.
If you take it there, I'm taking it further.
Now, what we do know is that Kendrick did indeed make it to this performance. As you can see, this is when he first arrived at the event, and this is him with his friends at the rehab pool. He was slated to perform early that Saturday at 10 a.m. I also found a photo where he's in his hotel suite after the performance, and this photo was likely taken midday. I tried my best to pinpoint what exact suite this was, meaning what hotel was this at, but I couldn't figure it out. I think it would also be helpful to find out what hotel he was at, right? So if you guys could find it, go right ahead. Next, we also know that Kendrick didn't just hang back to chill at the suite that night, as we have photos of him at the pre-party for the Mayweather fight. As you can see, the date by Alamy is clearly listed as Las Vegas, May 3rd, 2014. Interestingly enough, the bodyguard also stated that this incident took place during Memorial Day weekend or at a fight. However, another layer comes into play here, as we also have a photo of Kendrick with Whitney at this exact pre-party. As you can see, Alamy clearly tags this photo as being at a pre-party for a Mayweather fight on May 3rd. We also know that Kendrick made it to the fight that night, as I found a photo of him at the event.
And that's when the fight took place, May 3rd.
The main fight took place that night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it went the full 12 rounds, wrapping up at around 1 a.m. With all that said, we now have a fairly decent timeline of what Kendrick's day looked like up until early in the morning of May 4th. Based on what the bodyguard is saying, and based on the info I just shared, it seems like Kendrick would have went back to his hotel that night between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., and this is likely when the incident would have took place.
So when we look at the timeline I presented, we got to at least admit that the bodyguard's info aligns with it, right?
It actually doesn't. It actually does not align with it. Oh my God. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Why can't I find that video? It actually does not. I cannot find the video. Why can't I find the video? Do any of y'all in the chat know the video? Because in the video, the girl says it happened on Memorial Day. And then he included the guy that was in the video with her said, yeah, the UFC. So Memorial Day in 2014 was May 26, 2014. That was Memorial Day on May 26, 2014. But you're showing information of him being near the beginning of the month, May 3rd and May 4th, where he had the gig. So no, it's not true. He was not there. What? As good of research that you do, Matt, you could not align these dates? The security guard in the video said Memorial Day weekend or something like that. And then the guy said, yeah, UFC fight week or something like that. So where are you? Oh my God.
It was Memorial Day or it was fight weekend?
Oh, I didn't even realize she said it in the video. I'm looking for the video and she said it.
I don't remember.
Also important to note, even if this incident did take place on Memorial Day weekend, it still wouldn't look much better for Kendrick because he also performed in Vegas during that time as well.
It was Memorial Day or it was fight weekend? I don't remember.
So what was the point of showing the other stuff? And then the guy says UFC. He doesn't say boxing.
I mean, if you don't like the info, just call me a culture vulture.
You're a culture vulture. What the fuck does that got to do with anything, Matt? That's your arrogance showing again. Your arrogance is showing again. You want us to call you a culture vulture? Sure, you're a culture vulture.
That'll make you feel better. Secondly, there is information from a news outlet called Media Takeout, which
if anybody is using Media Takeout as a liable resource, I'm pretty sure your phone got viruses on them. I'm pretty sure your phone got viruses on them. I can't take no more of this video. Hey, y'all, that's me.
record differently, and at least they'll have a good breakdown to go to.
That was a very well thought out video, and he did his thing.
I thought this was bad.
Please take me out your video. Please take me out your video. And why did you include me in this video? Especially when 3 seconds I said you missed 2 things. Child, this was a fucking headache. I have a fucking headache after watching this video. We co-signed you, Matt, because you actually took your time and you provided accurate information, or what appeared to be accurate information, because you had actual evidence to back your claims. Like when you said, when Kendrick mentioned the fact of the wine spill on my white t-shirt, the sightseer or something like that. And then you found the video of the young girl admitting a girl spilled wine on Drake's shirt in his bathroom, the underage girl. You did things like that. You presented actual evidence. You showed us pictures of Millie Bobby Brown on the yacht. You showed us the Kill Bill references. You showed those things. But in this video, you haven't proven one thing to us. Hold on, let me find my video. Oh, gosh. I rebuke this video in the name of Jesus. This was terrible.
Family Matters coming up next. And that's an amazing record, and I feel like it got overshadowed. I feel like a lot of stuff got missed, and I'm really, really excited to break down Family Matters.
All right, guys. So shout out to our guy over at What's the Dirt for his 616 in LA. This actually took his time. Again, I think only from the things that I know, he only missed maybe like 1 or 2 things. But for the majority, that was. Why didn't you include that part in the video? Why didn't you include that part where I said you got shit wrong? Don't put me in a video again. Cousins, thank y'all for chilling with me. We tried to edit this bitch up and it still ended up being near 3 hours. This is a mess. This is a mess. But I appreciate y'all staying up with me at 2 a.m. going over this mess. I appreciate everybody who sent me a like, everybody who sent me a super chat. I'm sorry I did not get to them, but I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all of y'all. even the ones who haven't sent me anything. I appreciate y'all as well. But thank you so much to everybody who sent me a super chat, who chilled on here with me to go through this, keep me company, because this was terrible. This was hard to get through. This was hard to get through. Oh my God. Now I need to go my ass to sleep because I got to get up for work in the morning. But y'all, I'll catch y'all in the next live. Y'all be safe. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later.